Hello everyone, I'm the warmest of all banana peels. Sit down, warm up that banana peel, and enjoy this New Year's Eve cast. Today I've got a cast sent in to me by none other than RuneNorse. He's right over here in his seraphim buttocks. He hasn't quite spawned in yet, but you can see his beautiful collar. There he is, look at him. Anyways, this is a somewhat below the average rating, or just on the average rating of Supreme Commander. And overall there are some noobs in here, and three noob elites, I would say, or average Joes, whatever you prefer to call them. So starting off, Team 1 in the south corner and Team 2 in the northern corner. We have H2 Ranger going Aeon in his beautiful slimish green color. We have RuneNorse going Burgundy Red, Seraphim opening first land. First air for H2 Ranger, which he decided against. He's probably going to go first Bomber, or that seems like an odd setup. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. And then we have Moshi, or M0 capital SY in grey UEF going first land. Nothing else planned for him yet. Then we have Raiden going white Siren first land. Then we have Das19. He's probably German. He's already got his build order set out. He is going regular red, double land, few P-gens, few mexes. Probably going to go for a heavy early land build, relying on air from his air player. We have Philos of Ponamis, just Philo, going UEF first air, remarkably, in a purple-ish color. I'm actually wondering if this is a intentional. No, he's just going engineers. Well, whatever he prefers. Let's bump up the speed. As usual, in Twin Rivers you have a little bit of reclaim in the middle, where you can run for. You have a little bit of reclaim in the back. All over the place you have reclaim here, you know, little chunkies of rock. Around every bit of rock there is some reclaim, even around this one over here. And of course this is mirrored in the northern part. We see that Raiden is actually moving out after his first land factory without building any form of P-gens. I think he may or may not. Yes, he's gonna get his production up in the front. It seems like Das is going in the wrong direction with his engineer. Oh well. Whatever happens, happens. I'm actually going to speed this up to +2, because in the early game there is not much happening usually. We have H2 Ranger finally making his first air factory, and he is going engineers. Look at him strolling so fast. Isn't that beautiful? Seems to be that everyone is going a somewhat standard expansion route. Das is getting the early reclaim for his land build. He is skipping... I don't think he felt like he needed the other rocks. He'll just probably get it later. Pausing all of his mexes so he can upgrade them later when he has more time for it. And early rage going to the middle. Moshi trying to get his hands on more than what his fair shares of the reclaim, losing an engineer and a scout over it, saving his tank. And Das19 is actually also trying to get more of the reclaim, but he was stopped at the labs by RuneNorse, by a little raiding protection unit squad. Now an engineer is in danger of a raid from Das, and it looks like RuneNorse is actually going to intercept. No, yes. Oh, that was a little bit of a misplay. Das actually went after the tank instead of the engineer. And thus losing it, because the Seraphim Scout actually does a fairly bit of DPS. And here's that early bomber. Everyone should have gone early air, I think, here. RuneNorse, probably outflowing some power. Yes, he is. He's outflowing some power to his teammates. Now he's stopping because, yeah, he's building his own air. For the early game reclaim. Philo is not actually going for any form of reclaim. He is heavily assisting his bomber build. Does not have the power to do so. He is queuing up some more, stalling him out a little bit, but it could be worse. Oh god. Yeah, that is what no air coverage does for you. No one has interceptors. There is an anti-air turret over. Only one factory for Raiden. He's probably gonna get raided. And here go the bombers. That is a ludicrous amount for the early game. That may actually be able to factory lock someone if there would be no interceptors in the area. Already an energy storage up for Das. He's probably going to go very aggressive with his ACU. He actually did get a part of the reclaim. Did he get everything? I think he got everything. So all the T2 Rex in the middle went to the northern team, if I'm not quite mistaken. And RuneNorse is actually edge building the cliff here, which is actually fairly possible. It gives you an additional 4 maxes. Apologies for the fast zooming. I've actually unlocked my scrolling wheel, so I have to kind of be more careful with it. But he will get control over 4 maxes if the air player does not drop, which I doubt he will, given his current power position. And you get a lot of reclaim. Meanwhile, Das is actually sending in some tanks against the ACU, which I would have actually used to bypass the ACU or raid. Now here come the bombers of Philo, going after the mass extractor. Whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever floats your boat. That will be 2 mass less for RuneNorse and a few bomber X more for him. It looks like Moshi is actually going for a very eco-heavy build. He's not building his own air. He's plunging down 2 anti-air turrets against the heavy bombers, and he is upgrading his 3rd T2 max. Yes, he is. Meanwhile, the air player is already on his way to his 4th T2 max, so probably all the air has to come from RuneNorse for a little while. At least the proper air cover. T1 anti-air turrets everywhere. This is kind of painful to watch. And a T2 PD. If he would have scouted, he would have seen that he would not have needed such. Wagners! Hooray! These are my favorite little units when I play Siren. They actually go through water. They have pretty good alpha strike. They have 200 on 200 damage alpha strike on 1 cannon, and there's a little ACU in the back if you can see it, and 100 on his more rapid fire cannon, which is actually 300 damage in a pretty fast pace, and they're hella fast. They actually have the same if not better DPS value per mass than a Rhino. T2 power going down as well for Raiden. He's probably going for, well, of course, raiding. He has Wagners and maximum power adjacency. He may try to go T2 on this factory, and he's going T2 on this one. I know not of your tactics, but there must be a reason. And heavy and mobile anti-air mix in these mixes, I doubt why. Both of them seem to have a fairly good amount of interceptors, more than the air players, so it's kind of a waste, but hey, whatever you want. RuneNorse, he's probably getting a gun upgrade. Where's that T2? That must be a gun upgrade, yes. We need more scouts, I do agree. Scouting will win you the game. They have not yet seen most of what is going on in the other bases for quite a while. Still not a Hydro build. Fido is kind of behind. He has T2 engineers out, but if he would have gone the Hydro, he would have had a little bit more power, and he would have actually been able to pull a T2 P-Gen. Right now would completely stall him out. Top Island still not taken. Kind of a waste if they would have scouted this. Yes, that would have been a few hundred mass more. I think over the past course it would have been 1,500 more-ish. Maybe? I don't know. T2 Engineer coming to the front from H2 Ranger, going to build a fire base. along with Moshi. So this site is actually going to get static for a little while until the Viper spam keeps rolling. I still don't know why they would... There he goes, he's deciding against it, and he is rebuilding it right over here. No, the adjacency! This max, you better reclaim it, it's worthless now. You can't get T1 capped anymore, it's like, you know, bro. Das is actually PD creeping RuneNorse. He is getting a shield up, he has his own set of triads, and strangely enough, not enough anti-air. RuneNorse retreating, now that he's noticed that he is being taken under fire. What I would have done is just walk back and not care too much about it and just eco a little bit, get T2 online, maybe some mobile mesh launch. Here are the Ilshivas. Yes, RuneNorse noticing that he's being creeped. Is that the Clink Hammer we saw earlier? Yes, the Clink Hammer is actually firing onto this clump of engineers, if I'm not mistaken. Wrong person, that is Moshi, 300 ranked, already Clink Hammer. Ah, not bad. He is not in range of the majority of the base. If he would have pushed up a little bit further with the fire base and built it up here, he would have actually been able to pelt this base. And T1 PD. Okay, well, he would have been able to pelt this base with a lot of artillery fire. Now, there's a T2 movement on the way on this fire base. There's one triad and a few shields. I think you should be fine. Maybe one overcharge is necessary. And RuneNorse is actually close to dying. He's dipping under 5k. He's overcharging like a madman. And it seems that Das is actually overextended. No, RuneNorse. Bad. Give ground, reclaim. Let the T2 PD creep go on. Maybe help this assistant. So you know, don't get more PD creeps. And this is what I was happy about. Sort of afraid of. I don't know. Viper! It is slowly creeping on this shield. But it regens faster than it gets damaged. Because there's only one and a buskill. Hooray! There's actually fighter bombers coming in from Philo. Ah, the Janus. So inaccurate. Still, I love them against buildings. They're so strong. I would actually like to see that Das would actually send units past this side. And do a little bit of raiding, maybe kill some of the power grid, walk into the air player's base, which would be a good idea, is getting T3 max. And a little bit too much T2 power, but for fast resource allocation against this opponent it would be doable. In the meantime, still more Stingers and Janus. And no T2 power. Is he actually balanced? I doubt it. He is balanced because he is mass stalled and he's getting overflow. What a nice teammate. He's not even reclimbing. At this point I think Das should have actually sent engineers to the back to reclaim, because he needs the mass and his teammate is not getting it. Well, I'm actually going to slow this down to +0 and take a quick look at the economies. Looks like H2 Ranger is leading the pack with around 77 mass per tick. Yes. Coming in at a close second, Raiden on 75. Moshi is on 60. And the rest are all sub 50. Philo is on 25, but he is the lowest rated in the game. More Janus being thrown at a shield. Take that, you shield. And here's the raid I was talking about. It was nicely attempted. I would have built a wall section over here, reclaimed some of these rocks, boosted my early eco. But hey, what you prefer. For the reclaim values, 1,500 for Moshi, almost 1,600. 800 for H2 Ranger. Looks like he did not get all of his reclaim. He could have had a little bit more. Maybe reclaim your T1 P-gens. Pushed up that eco. Brodas has 4,500. Raiden, almost 2,000. RuneNorse, who has been pelted at, has only 3,000, but he could technically get up to 3,500. PD on the rock. I salute you, sir. If a unit comes closer than this, though, it is worthless. But hey, T2PD is just there for its range. So, hey, why mind? And Philo is on no reclaim. Reclaim, buddy! You could technically get more T2 max. This build is nice if you can get it up in the first 5 minutes of the game. This far into the game you are actually pretty far behind and someone could strat bomb you to death with only 2 strats and 2 ASF. Well, actually 1 strat. Moving on, I'm criticizing him too much. He's only a 200 ranked player. He probably does not know where to look at. I do like that he did at least get tag 2. And a raid! That is what you get for piling up all your units in one area. Beautifully done from Raiden, using his old T1 and a few of his T2 units. Could have probably saved the Vipers. Unless he wants to start focus firing some of this build capacity here. T3 on the field for Moshi. Is he the first to hit T3? The Airplay H2 Ranger is going T3 it seems on his air factory. He has the resource allocation upgrade. Don't know why he's still building T2 power, but hey, if he gets the other one he could probably pull out a lot of units out of his rear end of his HQ because it is a back upgrade. Yes, I am politically correct. RuneNorse sending over units to assist his teammate in not losing his T2 max, which is a very nice thing to do. T1 PD won't help you a lot if there are Medusa and Vipers, but whatever floats your boat. HQ in hot pursuit. And T3 on the field. For Raiden, he's getting out loyalists. To raid! Haha! And again, not reclaiming the T1 pigeons. Is he hurting for power? No, he could get away with reclaiming this. Maybe reclaim a little bit more in his base. Alright, let's see. Swiftwind's on the field. A little bit of flak. Where are these going after? They are going after probably the ACU, the base. No. They're used for anti-air, the worst. Well, technically there are worse. One of the worst anti-air fighter bombers are being used for anti-air. I salute you, sir. You just wasted a lot of mass. And pincer movement. Alright, so Cerberus turrets may not actually be the strongest, but if you give them some time, I would say that they are preferably strong against T1, maybe some lighter T2 or T3 units if you have enough of them. But as it stands now, they are just there to deter his opponent. And the artillery war. This is an expensive war. These are technically together over T3 max. So I don't know. You can do whatever you want. Making pillars out of a T3 factory. I'm trying not to facepalm because they are technically not the highest ranked players. He is rebuilding, he is reclaiming, so I think that this guy should be fine the moment he actually has a wall section or some extra PD covering this side. But at this point I think T3 could just walk into his base because there's only 2 PD over and I don't think he will overcharge too well. Cruiser out for RuneNorse. He's actually going to start pelting the base, and a reactionary buzzkill build. You could probably build it over. What is he getting? He's probably getting some upgrade. Or is he just mass sold? He has Percival's out though. What is he doing that requires him to pulse this? Does he have an eco mod? He has an eco mod, I think, maybe. No, maybe. He is getting reclaim, so that is kind of bumping him up. He is getting a T3 max, so he pulls off his production. I would have honestly just finished that unit because it's halfway done. But okay, you know, you can have your own demolisher. There's already an artillery war going on over here. Me myself, I would just reclaim my stuff and give some ground, maybe keep this position over here, build like 1 flak 2 buzzkills and just sit, because you get 1 max and you're pretty well overextended at this point, sucking up a lot of power because of that shield. But hey, to each their own. He has a better reach of the base. And sniper boats! Yes! Snipers. I actually like this unit a lot. I don't know. I would play Aeon for sniper boats, but yeah, it's not really my biggest thing. So I'd say, are they going to attack Mr. RuneNorse? He is grabbing the T2 upgrade. Yes, that is the other army already has the gun. So T1 max for RuneNorse while pumping out Navy. I don't know what is up here, but capping T1 maxes. Well, at least he can store the mass if he gets some. It's kind of a weird bug. Probably the engineer is not getting in range, so he doesn't register it as done yet. It's probably this little fella over. Oh well. A little bit of reclaim here, a little bit of reclaim there. Nice set of wall sections with PD in it. And the artillery war continues. He has turned off his shield. Whee! Alright, let's look at the air players. Well, at first, I would like to say that RuneNorse is actually doing pretty well. For himself, he is one of the highest ranked in this game. He has T3 land up. He has a somewhat sizable eco. I would probably suggest upgrading this first. And this one over here, maybe building some TMD, because one attack missile launcher and his entire eco would be gone. Maybe upgrade to T2 P-gens and reclaim off this, because he's currently on 1.3k power. He could probably get away with reclaiming that and replacing it by 2 or 3 P-gens. Or even going RAS, because his air player is not making T3 air. He is well in his right to do so. Oh. Ow. This hurts. This hurts my very soul. He does not have air control, but there's no T3 air, so why not just get his R, you know. He might be able to use it to produce something or pancake someone. I would love to see more of these games where someone just drops a donut on someone's head and then just leaves the game because he killed someone. Messages. People, why are you bothering me? I'm casting. Oh well. And TMD war. I think that at this point you are better off just going after the airplayer's eco. We're trying to hit him from the back. You can probably take out this little position, put some pressure on him, cut him off a little bit more. Maybe park a shield over this sniper boat. Does he actually hit the terrain? I think he hits the terrain over. So much mass. Let's actually look at how much reclaim there's still left. There is a little patch over here. A little patch over here. Of course, the reclaim in the backs of the air players' bases. A little bit of reclaiming this island. RuneNorse, you've left this big boulder. I'm not quite sure of what to think. I am of disappoint. You're in need of mass, and there's literally in your own base and in your teammate's base, there is mass. Oh, well, he hasn't played for a while, so to his credit, it is okay. Mobile missile launchers and demolishers. I would actually prefer to build one spearhead instead. So that would actually demolish these. Demolishers. Hey. And a fat boy going up for Moshi while his teammate is crumbling. Well, technically he could just build one more T2 shield and I'll upgrade one to T3 because that takes a really long time, like 3 minutes or so. Let me check. What was his name? Moshi. 4 minutes. And 3,000 mass to go to T3 shield. Hold on, does he have any engineer that is T3? Yes, of course he does. I didn't know that T3 shields were that expensive. Well, you learn something every day. And here come the Percivals. PD on ridge, and no more PD on ridge. They're actually being pushed back by a force of T2 and a few sniper boats. Sniper boats are deceptively strong. It is basically, if you have Seraphim, you have to treat it like UEF T2 Navy. You need every unit in your arsenal to be effective, because if you look at it, you have the Orphan, which actually has the highest DPS per mass of all T3 tanks, 400 DPS. Haha. You have the Sniper Bot for range, because the Orphan lacks speed and range to actually be effective, and health. So you need a shield to cover the Alphen and the sniper boats. You actually use the sniper boats to encourage a incursion, and there go all the gunships. Are they gonna take down? Nah, I think it. No, yeah. Sadly, no. It's gonna survive. Aha, Seraphim cruisers. Actually, they have pretty nice flak. I would say that arguably they have the best flak because it is area of effect, but it could technically be better. And I was making Alphens. 11 of these will actually rival in Monkey Lord in DPS. It's actually deceptively strong. If you get 2 T3 shields over them, I think 3 sniper bots and 10 Alphens, you can actually challenge a group of Percivals of equal size. Because of the added health from the shields, which is 20,000 for the total bunch, you actually encourage them to attack you because you have a pretty high alpha strike with the sniper bots, which you should toggle fire. I don't know if you did it because I can't see it, but you have a higher damage toggle. And it has more range, just slow reload time. But hey, if you're kiting, you just stop for more accuracy and you shoot the burstfuls and they engage. And there go all the sniper bots. No, this hurts my eyes. Or sniper bots, what did they do to you? Here comes more air. Oh, I almost messed up. Moshi is actually being pushed by a T3 force and almost getting sniped. And here come the gunships and the Corsairs are going in on him. He does not have flak with him, but Lance should not be an issue. Air coming in from RuneNorse, he should be fine. A few more gunships, his regen will probably save him and the T3 air. There comes the last gunship. Yeah. And the donut is saving someone's life. Hooray! End of your firebase, sir. Sirens should not firebase war, because it is not smart. They have the weakest PD, arguably. Just fire rate is really nice, but for that matter I would just pick Seraphim. Their Gunfer, the T2 artillery, well, I don't know, it's nice against T1 groups, but if you have enough mass at the T1 stage to pull out a reasonable amount of Gunters, I would not make those, I would just make T3 artillery. Do not go after units, go after a player. You have a donut, pancake. You are taking unnecessary damage. He's literally soaking damage. I don't know what to think. Maybe you should have given it to RuneNorse, but at this point I think RuneNorse should probably start reclaiming. Maybe issue some factory orders to get engineers. And does quit. He was probably unhappy with the pancake. His air player, to his credit, was not well entrenched. He is making ASF on... Does he have RAS? What? He has a lot of power. I don't know where he's getting it from. What? I am confused. He does not have RAS. He has only T1 and T2 pigeons. Am I missing something? Is he getting that much overflow from Raiden? Yes, Raiden has got the resource allocation upgrade and he has a T3 pigeon. And T2. And a donut on his head. Well then, I think this is safely to be said that this is the end of the match. The last remainder is a 200 rank player without enough power to run his specialty, which is air. RuneNorse is thanking everyone for the match. I thank him for sending this in. This was actually nice to look at. And another rage quit. Don't quite blame him. I really don't. Really don't. Oh well. Well played from everyone. Sadly, Dusk could not carry his team into victory because... yeah. His air player was trying. I do commend him for it. He should have probably gone the Hydro and maybe resource allocation once he notices it, but we can all learn and improve. He's well on his way to improving. Moshi, I would say he did pretty well. He should have been a little bit more mobile. Maybe he had a little bit of a better defensive line if he was to get into an artillery war. But that's about it. Like, if he would have stopped this single raid over here, he would have been just fine. As far as for the other players, just reclaim a little bit. You did fine. Units here and there, air support. RuneNorse, you played well. Especially, you know, because you have played for so long, as you told me. But remember, reclaim. Just reclaim. Do it more actively. Yeah, well played from everyone. Thank you all for watching. I am the warmest of all banana peels, and it sounds like a battlefield outside. I wish you all a happy new year, and I'll probably see you in the next year. I'm gonna celebrate it with my family. Bye bye.